Hey everybody. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm just setting this up here. Just the time I've done a live here. Like this. Let's see what we can do. Thank you for your patience with everybody. I'm just trying to set this up here. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? Hey Bryce, how you doing? Well, I wanted to do this live stream just to get me more comfortable with them. I haven't done very many of them before. And I also wanted to invite everybody to my new group on Facebook. I made a Centaur Fragrance Family Facebook. You just have to search Centaur Fragrance Family. And it's real easy to find. And of course, I do have fragrances. I wanted to sit here and chat with you all about fragrances. I have some fragrances from Alt here, and I have a whole bunch of fragrances from Costume Nationale that I've never really talked much about them. I bought a bunch of samples a while back ago. I was looking through my stuff today. It says, "Hey everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate that." Oh man, this is awesome. Let's see. Hey Ian, hey Fragrance Journey. I appreciate you, Fragrance Journey, and Bryce, of course. Hello. I don't know how you know that. I guess you know now. I always tried to keep that private because I don't know. Internet's always a crazy place. You never know what's gonna happen. So, anyways, I my Costume Nationale samples over there were just you know, just collecting dust. And I thought I'd bring some of those out. And I have these to talk about today. This one is supposed to be a clone of Tom Ford's Oud Wood, and it's called Agar Gold Number 2. So, have y'all heard of this brand? What do y'all think about them? And again, everybody who's popping in, I wanted to do this live stream just to introduce these, and I have a bunch of samples here, but I do want to just invite y'all to my new Facebook group called Centaur Fragrance Family. Oh, hey, Fragrance Journey, you're in Tennessee. Oh, that's awesome. Tennessee is a nice place. I actually would really like to move there or to Kentucky one day. I think there. I just love how the feel and the temp. I think the temperature is a little nicer. I really like it there. So I think you're in a great place. So I think that I was. Your message retracted. Okay, but this is A Ian. What I get out of this fragrance is I think it's kind of nice. I get a little bit more of a nutmeg vibe. If you're familiar with oud wood, it's more of like a synthetic or Western oud. It really is more of just a kind of like a, I don't know, a leathery scent with a little bit of spice. It's not much of an oud fragrance, honestly. It does have an interesting woody vibe. This one does it pretty well, but it just doesn't capture the exotic nuance I think that oud wood has. I honestly, I don't know if a lot of fantastic clones, I don't know if they've been able to capture that. There's just something quality, something Tom Ford did some of his magic, and I don't know if it's possible to really copy that fragrance, just exactly. But it's nice. It has decent performance. I'll spray some more here. So, again, I get some nutmeg. If you immediately smell it like this, you do get a little bit of an odd, almost like a celery note. But have you heard of alt fragrances? They are a new fragrance house, and are fairly new. And so my Palace dude. Oh, you're Jeremy Fragrance and incognito. You're spying on me, man. Is that what's going on? Says, hey, how do you say your last name? Ginkai? That's really awesome. I don't know where you're from, but I like your name. And you, DJ, you've always been here for me. I really do appreciate you. You're a fantastic guy. So I'm just talking about this alt fragrance here real quick. Just giving it a little time to test it on skin. Hey, it's Q. I don't know how you say your last name either, but you're awesome, man. You've always been here for me too, so thank you so much. Gain key. Okay, I like that. Where is that from? Is that Japanese? Um, I just wanted to talk about this fragrance. KIU. KU? K. Okay. Anyways, this fragrance isn't bad if you want to pay about 35 or so dollars for Tom Ford's Oud Wood, but it's not exactly like it. It does have pretty good performance. It smells a little bit more like nutmeg and celery to me, but you do get a kind of a nice, like lightly spiced, leathery vibe. It doesn't have that unique oud kind of vibe that I think that the Tom Ford has. I don't know if that can be duplicated exactly. I've never came across a clone that did that fragrance really really well. So it's all right. Do y'all like Tom Ford Oud Wood? Is that something you like? Is that something you're interested in? Interested in? Let me know. Let me know if you like clones at all. I like sharing them if they are good value. If I can recommend them, if I think it's worthwhile. Oh, thanks. You like the backyard. Well, I live in a little bit more of a rural place. This is a decent sized backyard, but you'd be amazed if you're from a big city. You'd be amazed at how much land some people own out here, and how many like hundreds, if not thousands, of acres that some people own, especially if they've kept it in the family for a long period of time. It's more rural. There's not as much city or as many people. There's a lot more forests, so it's kind of a wild man's land. I've honestly almost thought of making a YouTube channel and going out there in the woods with an axe and having little campfires and talking about the outdoors. So I don't know. I guess I could tell y'all. Fragrance Journey let it out of the box. I try to keep it a secret because I do like privacy and I am a private person. And who knows what's going to happen internet wise? But I am from Mississippi. It's a very rural place. It's competes with Louisiana most of the time for the poorest state in the U.S. So your everybody's comments, they just pop up for a couple seconds and then they just go away. But I'm trying to read them. You love clones, but you never bought into the negativity with them. Yeah, some people feel like they're kind of stealing the idea of the original. So it kind of gets into an ethical debate. And I've kind of made a couple videos talking about the issue. Some people it's a really heated topic for some people. They really dislike clones or they love clones. Some people believe in the artistry and being original, and that's underhanded to take the idea of somebody else. And on the other side, some people, if they get a fragrance that's similar, oh hey Solano, thank you so much for stopping by. Um, I mean, if you're able to create a fragrance that's almost as good, 80%, 90% there, ACK, thank you so much for stopping by. They, they think it's worthwhile. So, two different sides of the story. I think that some clones are nice, but some are not worth it. But some fragrances, there's a big opportunity for them because the performance isn't there with some fragrances. And some fragrances are very expensive. So, oh, Ian, so you're in my neck of the woods, huh? Awesome, man. We'll have to see if we can I don't know, make something happen. Yeah, I'm not too far away from you. You're down there on the coast, huh, with the Gulf. You got all the good seafood, so lucky man, lucky. Man, I love seafood. I pretend to like the salt life, the sea life. I love fishing, so I wish I could go do some more. I need to go out there and try to catch a big one. We have catfish down here. I'm just chilling with you. I'm talking about fragrances. This one, real quick. If you didn't catch me earlier, I talked about Gold Number Two. It's a clone of Tom Ford's Oud Wood, and this one is called Nico Tiana, or I think that's how you say it. This is a clone of Tobacco Vanille, I think, and this one has really strong performance. It's actually nuclear, and I actually personally am not a big fan of that fragrance. There see Oh yes, Happy Land is really nice. That's right. Which one did you buy, or did you just sample or try them out? I didn't hear back from a lot of people when I did my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I gave away a lot of samples of Happy Land, just my own decanting little 2 mils, and I didn't hear a lot back. I would love to know if y'all liked Happy Land, if what y'all thought about their brand, if they're worth the money. I think that they're very potent fragrances, and they smell a little bit more. I don't want to say old. I want to say, I don't know, like refined, but they are a little bit more. Um, I'm not thinking of the right word right now, but they are nice fragrances, but they perhaps are better for a little bit more for the mature crowd. But they're good fragrances. They're very potent, I think. Georgia Gent. Hey, man, thank you so much for stopping by. We're getting all the southern people, I guess, coming by, chilling today. I'm just smelling this one a little bit. This one's called Nicotiana by Alt Fragrances. This is a clone of Tobacco Vanille, I believe. It's very spicy. It has very strong performance, scary nuclear performance. I don't like to talk about fragrances as beast mode, but this stuff is, and it'll last on clothes, especially on skin for a whole day or two. So if you want it doesn't smell synthetic, but perhaps it is, and you want a really spicy, clove heavy kind of Tom Ford, a clone of Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, I think you would like it. I'm getting the sunset coming down on me. Um, I'm not sure if I saw your comment there. I wish they would stay up for a longer period of time. See all messages. Okay, okay. I figured out how to make it so the comments are always up. Okay, you say you like McCool from JP and Guy Fox. Have y'all has everybody had a chance to try Guy Fox? They're a new kind of indie brand too. Yeah, McCool was really interesting. I think that was the one. Was it the one that had a little bit of earthiness and fruitiness to it? It was kind of interesting and playful and all that. A Outlaw Frags, thank you so much for stopping by. He's a good guy. If y'all don't know Outlaw Frags, he's a good guy, and he does fragrance reviews too. Y'all should check out his channel if you have the chance. Outlaw Frags is a good guy. So I'm just talking about Alt Frags, orange and tobacco. What brand or what fragrance is that from, my friend? So I think this fragrance is good. Yeah, yes, Outlaw Frags, you're a great guy. So if you want something really strong, if you Tobacco Vanille gave me 5 or 6 hours. Some people say that have similar experiences with Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. If you want something that's really strong performance, this one and Bologna, or maybe it's Bologna. It's kind of an odd name. Bologna Dreams by Fragranza both have very strong performance. So Mandarin and tobacco. Yeah, it was a fruity tobacco scent. I got like a little bit of an earthy vibe from it. Um, it is a good fragrance for sure. I thought Hefe was really nice. Hefe by Guy Fawkes was kind of, I think it was fierce. I think it was kind of inspired by that one. I think they claimed that on their website too. So it's a really nice modern fragrance. I'm sorry. I wish the messages always stayed up here. I'm trying to catch them all. So, hey, CK. Yeah, hey, everybody. Okay, so do y'all want to hear more about these, or do y'all want me to jump into the samples of Costume National? I bought a whole big sample pack of their line a while back, and they were collecting dust, and I haven't done individual reviews of them. I have discovery sets of so many things, and I want to put more videos out there for y'all. More content. So I think that this is a nice fragrance. This Agar Gold. It just, I don't think it captures the beauty of Oud Wood. It's kind of close. It might get you by for 35 bucks. It has good performance. But this one's nuclear. I actually tried to wash it off 3 times off my hand. The Nicotiana. It smells kind of like nicotine. I'm not familiar with drugs very much myself, but I could imagine that this does have a kind of a drug kind of vibe. And there's people talking about Godolphin by Parfums de Marly having a similar vibe to, and it honestly does have kind of some kind of crazy underneath it all, kind of almost like a drug like smell. So it is, there's something going on in this one. Okay. I'm gonna jump to Costume National. Let me know if y'all want to know more about the alt fragrances. I will be doing a review of these, and they were generous enough to send that to me. They wanted to get their name out there, but I paid for all the rest of these Costume National samples. Um, let's see. Yeah, CK, you could check them out. Outlaw Frags. Some winners. Did you have a giveaway or something on your channel, man? I love to win, but I usually don't win. But Costume National Soul. If you've yeah, if you've never smelled them, I think that they're original. Their pour ohm is quite nice. The tobacco is kind of like an ashtray kind of tobacco. It does have a little bit of a similarity to Jubilation 25, but I think it's a really nice casual scent. Um, okay, yeah. Congratulations on the 500, my friend. I know how much work that is. It takes a lot of work to get there to 500 or even 1,000. And so sometimes we need the encouragement because it took me almost a year to get to 1,000, and I put in a lot of work. It was a lot of work to get to that point. I hope y'all don't mind the light in my face. I'm just gonna bear with it because we're outside. We're outside with nature. So, anyways, let's jump to Costume National Soul. I just wanted to give some quick impressions. I have smelled these before, so it's not first impressions. This one's quite nice. This is what the bottle looks like for y'all. For me, if you're familiar with yeah, clones can be high-end houses do clones. Godolphin, yes, I do think that Godolphin's very similar to a Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. They definitely took some inspiration from them, no doubt about it. Um, this one, I think, does smell. I don't know if they were inspired or if they tried to take or make a better version of Dirty English, but I do think that this fragrance smells quite similar to it. It's much stronger. It has a lot more leather and a lot more tobacco. I on my skin personally, Dirty English, it didn't perform very well. It became a skin scent quite quickly. So I think that this is really nice for you guys who like really rugged fragrances, who want something um, just kind of sensual. It doesn't have the notes or anything like that listed for me here, but it says it's warm, sensual, and pure. It's very strong on the tobacco and the leather, but let me spray some here on this card. Check it out. Yeah, fragrance journey, leather and tobacco. And you always have a really nice taste in like niche fragrances, and you have so many interesting, expensive fragrances. But I think that this is a really nice fragrance. If you guys are into the more rugged fragrances, Fahrenheit by Dior, Gucci Absolute. You're blown away by Pulse of the Night. That's by Issey Miyake, I think. I almost bought that fragrance. There was somebody who bought it, I guess, really early or got it as a gift, and they actually had it for a fair price. It was kind of a used bottle, but barely sprayed, and they kind of wanted retail for it. I was trying to talk them down on eBay, and somebody just bought it. Probably in the U.S. I should have bought it. I don't think it's easily accessible. Um, yeah, you have to smell that Gucci Absolute. If you're into those rugged fragrances, those really masculine fragrances, I've heard it's discontinued. I don't know if it's true. Prices might creep up over time, but there's a lot of people who really like the Gucci Absolute. This Costume National Soul, I think it's became a little bit more well blended over time. When I first got it, I really remember this sample. I remember the leather and the tobacco really jumping out of the fragrance. So it's nice. It has an ambery quality to it, no doubt about it. amber, leather, tobacco, a rugged masculine fragrance. If that's the thing you're going for, my friends. And everybody who stopped in, thank you so much for stopping by. We're just hanging out and talking about some Costume National fragrances. And I already talked about Alt fragrances, a couple of them they sent to me. So, yeah, my friends. And we're building the community. And and a big reason of why I'm doing this video today is because I just started my Facebook group for everybody called Scentitar Fragrance Family. And you can go over there, just search for it in groups, and it should pop up. It might be a little bit closer to the bottom because it is such a new group. I'm just building it up. If y'all have suggestions on how I can improve it and what I can do, please let me know. So, guys, have y'all heard of this one? This is Costume National 21. I don't know. This is one of those fragrances I thought people about a year or two ago would have been talking about because it's quite an interesting little fragrance. This one has all kinds of odd notes that come together to create an interesting creamy fragrance. This is their 21 anniversary fragrance that they made. I don't know if it's a limited edition. It could be, for all I know. It's a very interesting creamy fragrance. It doesn't really smell like vanilla. It spray some here. It doesn't really smell like anything you probably ever tried, but it does smell kind of creamy. And I have really been tempted to buy this because it has this interesting, almost like lavender vibe. And I don't do lavender too well. My Lacoste Pour Homme is probably my Lacoste Pour Homme, sometimes called gray, is probably about the only kind of heavy lavender fragrance I've been able to like. ACK, thank you so much for your compliments. Yeah, you'll join. So A Contour Boar, thank you so much for stopping by. Hello, all my friends. I really do appreciate all of y'all. I'm just trying some samples here, some little they're not decants, but little samples of Costume National. This one is called 21. It's a very complex, interesting, creamy fragrance, and it's quite nice. When I remember when I tried this, that it didn't have the best performance. It was about a 5 or 6 hour fragrance. But boy, if you like creamy fragrances and you want something interesting, this one's very interesting. There's nothing else out there like it. It's quite a interesting fragrance. A Fragrance Journey, thank you so much for encouraging everybody. Yo, you bought the Ideal and you're not feeling it at all? Did you buy it because it might be discontinued? Did you like the notes, or did the hype get to you, my friend Ian? Let me know what happened there. I'd love to know. I have smelled that one, the not Gucci, the Ideal Cologne by Guerlain, and if you haven't tried that fragrance, it's a very creamy, sweet hazelnut fragrance. It smells kind of in a way similar to Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky, but it's a little bit more full-bodied. I think it's a little bit more smooth, but it's not as sweet. So I think some people might not like it because it doesn't have the best performance either. When I tried it, do y'all y'all tried that fragrance? So anyways, if y'all haven't tried 21 by Costume National, it's beautiful, but it's very interesting. It's very different. I fell in love with Palo Santo by Carner Barcelona, and it is one of my beloved creamy fragrances, sandalwood fragrances. Let me see if I can pull up your comments here again. Oh, you want to? Yeah. If you have to go, man, you have to go. But yeah, Palo Santo won my heart, and then I found The Traveler and the Moon by Alchemia. They won my heart, and I think this is fantastic. But it's just so interesting. Don't blind buy this, guys. You got to sample a fragrance like this. It has a very interesting softness and creaminess to it. It's very complex. I might have to buy this fragrance one day. It is unisex. I think that I would be smitten if I came across this on a lady. I think that I would be very smitten. because I really do like this fragrance. Oh, thank you so much for stopping by, Outlaw Fresh. You're a great guy. I like the work you're doing. There's so many other great reviewers out there. I try to give them all a spotlight and help them out the best I can. I really hope that other big YouTubers will or reviewers will do the same for me because I'm trying to get up there. You picked it up thinking you might get a amaretto type vibe. Um, is that like an ambrette? It's too feminine for you. Yes, I do think that the IDL cologne is unisex. It's not a masculine fragrance. Ladies would happily, I think, like to wear that fragrance. It's a sweet, nutty fragrance, hazelnut. So, that IDL cologne, if you're a macho guy, you might not want that one. But that Guerlain IDL, it's getting some hype. Supposedly, it's discontinued. Yeah, so let me know if you want to know more about these fragrances. I don't have a computer to look up the notes to share with y'all right now, but these are really nice. This one has 21 ingredients. That one was Costume National's 21. It's a really interesting fragrance. So let's jump to the next one. This is called Scent. Is this the Ohm? No, this one is just called Scent. It's not the same thing as Ohm. It says the radiance of light mother of pearl hibiscus flower. So I guess it has an interesting floral quality, kind of but maybe a spicy floral aromatic. I don't remember much about this one. It didn't leave me much of an impression at all, honestly. Yeah, it's got florals, and it is kind of a masculine fragrance. Have y'all smelled hibiscus? Have y'all ever had hibiscus tea? It's quite an interesting note. Um, it's a floral aromatic. It's not very spicy though. It's kind of like a classic gentlemanly fragrance. I can tell it's going to be a little bit of a soft fragrance. It's going to be a little bit of a soft one. It's kind of a personal fragrance, a gentleman fragrance. Hey, Solano. Hey, how you doing today? What's everybody's scent of the day? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Let's talk about that. I think that the scent is a nice fragrance. It's a classic gentlemanly fragrance. What can I say? An aromatic with probably some wood, some florals, a tiny bit of spice. Oh, did you buy a bottle or did you get a decant, my friend? Fan Your Flames by Nishane is a fantastic fragrance. Yes, I've talked about it. I forget. I think it's the fragrance bow tie guy. Or I forget. There was another reviewer I just watched recently, and he had a bottle of it too, and it's fantastic. Oh, YSL El Ohm. Okay, yeah, and Carnar Barcelona Fig Man. I really want to try that Fig Man. Fig is one of my favorite notes if it's used right. One of my favorite notes. Ani by Nishane. I've heard wonderful things, my friend. You got to it before I did. I haven't tried that one yet. I've heard. I think it did. It win an award. I think Ani's must be a masterpiece. People are talking about it. Boss Bottled Infinite. Is that their new one? Is that the one in that blue bottle? I don't think I've tried that one. A Valley Vaughn. Have y'all seen Valley Vaughn? She's fantastic. Y'all gotta check her out. She's a fantastic lady. She likes to call her subs, her people who watch her mafia. So definitely check out her channel. She's just fantastic. I love connecting with everybody, all the friends on YouTube. So Valley Vaughn's fantastic. Ani is the best vanilla you've ever smelled. Oh my goodness, it must be beautiful. I don't know if all of y'all saw my big haul video, but I got Sacred by Louis Cardon, and that's a very smoky, kind of ambery vanilla. And for me personally, I love that fragrance. I'm willing to try some other vanillas. I don't like pure vanilla fragrances. They got to have something to them, something to make them a little bit darker or more masculine. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you like Elborn and you want to try Ani. It's so expensive. Honestly, I mean they are expensive, my friend, but Nichane fragrances for a full size bottle, I think they're full size for $150. I think the quality is there. It is a niche fragrance. It is expensive, but for the quality, I don't think it's unreasonable. I mean, compared to something the Creed, y'all know I try to I talk about Creed's prices a lot. I know people get them at discounts, but in the USA, a full size bottle of Creed is like 350 or $400, y'all. And when they first release, I think they were asking like almost $550 in the USA for a bottle of Creed Viking when it first was released. So I'm willing to give Nishane my money because I think they're fantastic. Um, Agnes Eva, hey, my friend, thank you so much for stopping by. I guess I live outside. I'm a hobo. Thank you so much. I love your humor, my friend. Agnes Eva is awesome. If y'all don't know her, yes, it's still hot, my Valley Vaughn. I live closer towards the equator. I live near the Gulf Coast. I pretty much get Florida weather. So we're having a long summer. Today was actually kind of hot. I felt like it was got hotter today instead of cooler. I didn't check the temperature. I don't remember the temperature, but it might have gotten close to 100 today. It was a hot one. Yum. Elborn. Yes, Elborn is beautiful. It's gorgeous. If y'all haven't checked out Elborn and you're a guy and you've been scared of vanilla, I definitely check it out. Mr. Miami Cuddles. Yes, thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. Thank you for the encouragement. He's a wild guy, and his editing is a whole different style, a whole different world. But if you're interested, check out Mr. Miami Cuddles. See what you think of him. Yeah, my friend DJ, you're saying that you don't invest in niche. Niche isn't for everybody. I explore everything on my channel: designer fragrances, cheapies, indie. I try to, find fragrances for everybody. Some people don't want niche. Some people want more mass appealing fragrances. And honestly, with all the flankers out there in the designer world, you can smell very unique. You can smell original. You can have signature scents in the designer world without forking out, more than $60. Um, you can have fragrances that are very unique, very interesting, high quality fragrances, especially on the gray market. And especially if you go for indie, there's brands like Alchemia out there, and you can pay, or even if you want to go for Alexandria. Oh, the presentations. I have never bought in a fancy presentation. I don't have money for that either. Maybe one day I'll get something like Killian. Pay the extra. Is it $100 or $150 for a fancy coffin kind of presentation? They look really nice, but I'm with you. I'd rather put that get a whole new fragrance for that money. And I think presentations matter, but I don't think they matter that much. That's just my opinion. Hey Dan, thank you so much for stopping by. Uh, Dan, you're a fantastic guy. I wonder if some guys like you are going to start your own channel one day. I would love to see that. I've encouraged some people before. There's this fantastic guy. I think he's Spanish. Maybe I'll have to do a video and do a shout out for him one day. And he started his own YouTube channel just because of me, and I encouraged him, and I think he's fantastic. And I can't take credit for Clements, but I encouraged her. I think she's a great lady. She's a French lady. You got to check her out too. You're gonna force him to be on your channel. Maybe he doesn't want to get into the addiction as much as we are, or as much as we're into fragrance. Okay, guys, we're gonna jump to another Costume National fragrance. This one is called Homme. This is their original fragrance. Um, they say it's seductive, mysterious, and unique. I've already sampled these before. These aren't first impressions. As you can see, I've already sprayed a little bit there. I got a little dust on it though. That's why I pulled these out today. I noticed they had some dust on them, and I haven't talked about them. Are you familiar with Costume National? Have you tried these? I think that this is a fantastic fragrance. It's a beautiful tobacco. There is a little bit of a floral quality. It has a lot of wood, some sandalwood. It's a little bit resinous. The tobacco smells a little bit like an ashtray, but it's not for everybody. It does have some sweetness. So I've heard some macho men complain about this fragrance, saying that it's not for. They didn't think it was masculine enough, but it's a really nice one. Dan says, "Don't get me addicted." Well, you're probably at the wrong place. I'm probably a bad influence on you because we love fragrances here. We're fragrance fanatics, and we're crazy about fragrances. So, um, hey DJ says you have to have a great day, and you wish me the best. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. Really appreciate you. Oh, Best Brands Perfume. Thank you so much for stopping by too. If y'all probably know about him, he's a great guy as well. He's another reviewer. His editing is interesting as well, but you got to check Best Brands Perfume out. He's a good guy. Yes, hello, Chris. Hey, Misty. I think I see you pop up here and there on some channels. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for supporting all of us. I really do appreciate you. You're awesome. Dan, you say you only have 170 bottles, but you swear that you're not addicted. You have more than me. I have about 60 now, and I have quite a few decants. I do buy from Scentbird. I do get their niche, but after this year, I'm probably going to run out of all their niche options or everything that I'm interested in. So I'm probably going to switch to like Scentbox or Luxury Scentbox. Yeah, I'm doing great, Misty. Thank you so much for stopping by. And hey, Chris, yeah, Best Brands Perfume. Check him out if you haven't. He's a good guy. I do think this Costume National Homme is a nice fragrance. I really do. I think it's fantastic. It really is worth the money. Oh, thank you, Misty. I'm glad that you like my content. I think that this is worth the money. It does have a similarity to Jubilation 25, and Jubilation 25 just won my heart. I grabbed a bottle on FragranceNet when it hit about $150, which is unbelievable value for money for a fragrance like that. And I'm just hiding it away, keeping it my little secret. I need to review it because I think I'm one of the there's little cult groups of certain fragrances, and I'm a member of the Jubilation cult and the cult of Timbuktu by El Artisan and Agnes Eva. I know that you're with me on the Timbuktu, at least. I know that you love that fragrance. Decant is also a very good vendor. Yes, the Decant Boutique. They're great. They sent me some decants, and I need to give them some more attention. The Fragrance Decant Boutique is a good place to go to, and they're really nice people, and I think they always do a good job. So, you've tried. I just tried the new Aventus Cologne. Yes, the first time, and it's awesome. No testing. Let me read that. And you gotta see how long it lasts because you went to sleep. Yeah, let me know what kind of performance you get. I've talked to one person who said they got 7 or 8 hours. I talked to somebody who even said that they got 11 hours out of Aventus Cologne. Maybe it lasts as a really light skin scent for a while, but yes, Agnes, you love Timbuktu. Everybody should get a bottle. I agree. It's if you like resinous fragrances, if you want an interesting something similar to amber, something that's a little bit spicy. Timbuktu smells like Africa. Nothing else smells like it. It has a beautiful, remarkable vetiver, one of the best vetivers I've ever come across. And you can sometimes find a small bottle, I think a 50 ml bottle or maybe a 30 ml for about 40 to or really about $50 or so. And it's unbelievable value. Um, if they put it in a different bottle, or if a different brand put it in a different bottle, and people knew what they were getting into, I think that they would happily pay $250 for Timbuktu. I think it's that good. I think it's a very good fragrance. Um, yeah, Dan, you said you got 4 to 5 hours. I was getting 3 to 4 hours, maybe 5 hours if I oversprayed on my clothes. Aventus cologne, for me personally, for the money, it's not worth it at all. There's y'all know Sensual Obsessions makes a decent clone of it, and there's other fragrances that smell better. I think that the what was it, the Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. I thought that that had a similar smell to it. I thought it smelled higher quality. And if you're willing to pay that kind of money, why not pay $150 and pay retail for a full big 5 ounce bottle? And you can spray that all day, every day, as much as you want. So check that one out. If in my opinion, at least 30 mil for $29 of Timbuk2. Oh my goodness. That's a crazy value. I honestly think that people would be happy to pay $200 for that fragrance. I think it's worth it. I think that El Artisan is one of those brands that is kind of their hidden gem. They're just not talked about enough for the quality. Oh, at some shops. So maybe I'll have to get in contact with you. You can be my supplier for my addiction, Agnes. Help me with all these fragrances. Anyways, Costume National Soul is nice. It doesn't. It just has average performance, and it probably lasts about 6 hours or maybe 7 on clothes. But it's a nice fragrance. I just think that Jubilation 25 has the performance is so much better, and I think it smells better, and it's similar enough. Even though I do like this Costume National Homme, I would personally just go for the Jubilation. Even though it is more of a niche fragrance, it is a little bit hard to wear. This one's easier to wear to the office. It's easier to wear just everywhere, and I think you could get away with it. I just had to catch that. Do y'all put those samples in your cards, and then you like look away, or you don't have the tab up, and then they like slip? Oh my goodness, it gets me sometimes. So let me see if there's any more comments here. You think, oh, okay, Agnes, you think it's more of a female scent. I saw some guys, I think it was on Fragrantica and some other places, and they thought too that perhaps it leaned a little bit feminine. I think it's perhaps a unisex scent. It is not the most masculine fragrance. I think some ladies out there might be able to pull it off. It's a nice, slightly resinous fragrance with an ashtray like tobacco. It's pretty nice. I think I just don't think it sells that well because not a lot of people know the brand. And I forget, but I think a full size 100 ml bottle is about 150 bucks. Oh, the Gucci. Which Gucci? Oh, the Memoir de on Odeur. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. Honestly, I don't know, but from what I can hear, it's a chamomile tea. It smells a little bit botanical, maybe a little bit medicinal. It doesn't last the longest, and they definitely took a big risk on that fragrance. It sounds like. I'm not really interested in paying for a $6 sample. Again, I live in a more rural place. Yeah, it's not recommended by Agnes at all. So I don't want to pay $5 or $6 to get a sample. I could buy a good lunch, eat out a good meal for $5 or $6 to try a fragrance that I just am not interested in. And honestly, I'm probably not gonna like it. Um, hey Misty, thank you so much. Yeah, Salon's a good guy too. Yeah, we definitely try to be honest and speak the truth. Yeah, so no BS around here. So Big says the opening isn't good, but it dries down rather nicely. Though to be honest, you wouldn't buy it. Yeah, I hear that some people do kind of like that Memoir de Odeur, but they don't think it's worth the money. It is interesting that they put out a night. It has a unique bottle. It has its own kind of distinct bottle, and it's kind of like Gucci's new niche offerings. I wonder if they're gonna make a whole line, like make the bottle a different color and come out with a whole new line. But I don't think Gucci is known for niche fragrances. Do they have exclusives? I don't know if they have their own exclusives. So maybe they were trying to make their own exclusives. Like Dior has their own exclusives. Chanel definitely does. People know all about that. Ferragamo, a lot of these brands have their own exclusives. Um, so Ferragamo definitely does. Armani has their own. I've tried quite a few of those. You'd think the dry down is just a little. It's just okay. The longevity's zero. Is Stefan in the house? Stefan Fragrance? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, there he is. Hey, Stefan. He's like the king of the live stream. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a nice day. It's a little bit hot. It was really hot and out there earlier, so I wanted to come out here and chill with y'all, talk about some fragrances. I just talked about some alt fragrances. They sent me this one, and then I got some samples that I paid for from Costume National, and I'm just talking about that and just chilling with y'all. Have some fun. What fragrance are y'all wearing today? What's your scent of the day? I also wanted to talk about that I just made my Facebook group, Centaur Fragrance Family. Y'all can head over there, join that community so we can all communicate all the time. And I do have an Instagram as well. It's called Centaur_fragrance. I like to find giveaways and I share all kinds of giveaways for y'all. And there's so many other great fragrance people out there. It's a whole another world. Mr. Cologne 76 is there. Mr. Cologne 76 is a great guy. If y'all haven't seen him or talked to him, and I'm the prince, and Dan is your dad. Okay. Oh man. Okay, Valley Vaughn, you're wearing oils. What oils are you trying? I have talked about a few of the Nabil oils that I have, some of the ones, and I have some real Middle Eastern musk oils coming in, some of the real stuff to talk about layering, and I would like to share some Arabian stuff with y'all. I have all kinds of interesting ideas and some stuff coming down the pipeline that y'all have never seen a fragrance reviewer do. And I want to do a little bit more comedy. I want to try out some new stuff. So really hope that this channel is going to explode and that I can do some more stuff for y'all. It's going to be a lot of fun. J Pur, you love J Pur. Yes, that's a great classic. Oud Violet by Mancera. My friend Blue Cost. I haven't tried that one. I need to try it. I bet it's a good one. Mancera usually has pretty good fragrances and they have good longevity. So, see, one of your favorite scents is Zaharoff, or is that how you say it? Zaharoff. I've been trying to practice, my friend. Misty. It smells really good. George is a fantastic guy. A review is coming. I did a post on my social media. He sent me a full-size bottle, and I'm so grateful. I've been testing it and trying to find the right time to do a review of it, feeling when I was ready. But he's a great guy. He's super generous. He's doing a lot of good out in the world. He definitely is a good vibe kind of guy. Zara Hoff is a good man. Fragrance Journey says, Stefan, did you get the package? Was he sent a package? What's going on? Louis Cardon Illumination. I don't remember that one. Louis Cardon has some good fragrances. Did you hear about them from me, or did you already know? I think that they have some fantastic fragrances. They kind of have limited distribution, but I got a sample of a fragrance they have called Ray. And I think Ray is a really nice, creamy sandalwood fragrance, and it's very interesting. It's a very nice fragrance. I might have to get a bottle of Ray because it's starting to win my heart too. You can get a lot of Arabian stuff for $15. Yes, you can. They tend to have like little atars and fragrances in really small amounts, and you can get a very interesting fragrance and smell very unique, especially in the West, for a small amount of money. But don't y'all be deceived. There are some of some of the Arabian brands that they have some of the uber quality, some of the super high grade stuff. And I was on Mr. Cologne 76's channel, and he was having an interview. I can't remember the brand right now, but he said some of the best stuff, some of the most expensive, is $3,000 for a gram. I just came across a website. I was just googling and just looking at, trying to find new stuff. And for like I think it was a little 1 gram a tar, and they wanted $1,500 for that. And that's a little rich for my blood. I can't afford something like that, especially at this point. I hope to one day, but that's really really expensive. How about Credible Oud by Louis Cardone? And I don't know. And let's see. What Ginky you said, or Ginkai, or Saucy Ezra? I don't know if I've tried that one. I got to see if I have. Check that one out. I bet it's really nice. I think that Sacred is quite good. I thought that Oud al Emirat, I believe it was a really nice, like musky, inky, dark vetiver. Thought it was fantastic. Agnes, you say oils are cool, but you don't know where to put them. But on the neck or behind the ears. I think that behind the ears, or perhaps even behind the knees, are the best places to put them because they're very strong, and you don't want to get them washed off or kind of like mixed into your clothes. I don't think, or anything like that. So they can seem a little bit messy or a little bit daunting if you're unfamiliar with them, but I do think that they're really nice. Um, you're looking at ouds like last night too, my friend. Yes, ouds can get very, very expensive very, very quickly. Real oud is quite a luxury item. Um, if you want real ingredients from natural ingredients out of some of these niche fragrances, sometimes they are charging a lot of monies, but sometimes it's justified. Rose Absolute, Tiare Absolute, and a number of other ones. I think it's Orris and of course ambergris are some of the most expensive ingredients in the world. And they are putting expensive ingredients into those fragrances, especially with oud. Oud is crazy expensive. Um, you'd like to buy some oud chips? Be Stay tuned. I have some crazy content coming, my friend. You'd be surprised. I have a lot coming down the pipeline. Maybe you should do that too. That'd be a lot of fun. Um, see here. Stephen H says Louis Cardon and Latafa are good places to start. Yes, I do think that they appeal to the Western market. If you're looking for a little bit of a Arabic style, or maybe you want to try out an oud, perhaps those are really good places to go to. Louis Cardon is a good place. I've talked a little bit about Hugo Boss bottled oud. For a Western oud, if you want to try it, you don't have to try oud. Some people in the West don't want to try oud. It's more daring. A lot of people, if you want compliments, if you want things that are easy to wear, a lot of people are happy with their aquatics. But we're kind of fragrance heads over here, and we're probably, um, we want something different. So yeah, yeah, Dan, that would be fun. Stay tuned. I have something like that coming down. I don't want to spoil everything, but I do have some crazy stuff coming. Oh, Savet. Savet's crazy. That's like real animalic stuff. Oh, I don't know about that. I might try it if I ever came across it. Says when you Fragrance Journey says when he was in Javoy in London, they were selling real ambergris, and there were a lot of people spending big money. Were they pure attars, or was it just the raw ingredient? Um, yeah, Dan says Dan knows I love the animalic. Yeah, the animalic notes can be really challenging for some people. I do like it when it's just a little bit of a touch. I really do like it in Leighton Exclusive by Parfums de Marly. I think it's really nice. And Happy Land Signature uses that little touch of that animalic vibe to just make some magic happen. Fragrance Journey says raw. Yeah, I could imagine it's crazy expensive. It's one of the most expensive things in the world. It might be worth more than gold for its weight, weight per pound. So extremely expensive ingredient. That's one reason Creed fragrances are so expensive, and that's one reason I criticize them with some of their newer releases like Aventus Cologne. Aventus Cologne does not have the Creed, it doesn't have the ambergris in it. They tried to replicate it a little bit with this Tonka feel in the dry down. So the new Aventus Cologne, that's one reason why it doesn't perform as well. They didn't put the real ambergris or their signature ambergris in that fragrance. And y'all can go online. There was an interview, and they even admitted it. So, DJ says Javoy Incident Diplomatique is a masterpiece. Isn't that one with a good amount of patchouli? I've heard that one is fantastic. I think that Sebastian over there at Smelling Great, Smelling Good Fragrance Reviews. I think that's one of his favorite fragrances, isn't it? I think that he loves that fragrance. I got to try it. It is on my list to try, and might be a buy. But of course, I have to try to save money and sample and try things like everybody else. I don't have a huge resources to be able to do that all the time. So control myself. I'm a little bit of a utilitarian. I don't collect fragrances. If one is really collecting dust and if I don't absolutely love it, I mean, I'm selling it. If I find a new fragrance that I like a lot more and I'm not going to lose a lot of money on what I already have, I mean, I'm selling it. So that's just me, though. You don't have to do that. Some people love big collections and having an arsenal, kind of a library. If somebody asked what some fragrance was, they'd be able to go and get you a sample or talk about it and do a review on anything in the world. So, says white ambergris is in a lot of creeds. Yes, my friend. I think that they use the white ambergris. It's a very clean ambergris. It's not particularly musky. I do get a little bit of salt from it, and in some of the Creed fragrances, but yeah. It says Fragrance Journey says he's slowing down. Yeah, I've just felt like that for me. I like to wear my fragrances. I really like to enjoy them, and I'll buy here and there. I don't like to do big hauls, and I'm not really into I like cheapies, but I'm not into just buying a lot of them to fill up a room or anything like that. I have to really like them. I have to think that I'm going to really use that fragrance. Um, and yeah, DJ, you understand being utilitarian. If y'all don't know what that means, it means like everything you own and everything you everything you have, that it has a use and it has a purpose, and that you're not collecting things just to have things. It's the complete opposite of a hoarder who has a bunch of things just because perhaps they feel like they might need it, or maybe they're trying to fill something in their lives, be fulfilled. It's good to have a lot of backup things. I have a lot of like outdoor supplies, with backpacks and things that I don't use often, but when I do use them, I need them. So let's see here. Steve says you're going to move next to a fragrance journey and borrow his try out all of his fragrances. Yeah, could you only imagine some of these people, like Redolescence? He admitted that he has his own separate like storage room. I think it's in one of his family's houses that he just has a whole room worth of fragrances, besides everything that you can see in his video. So you can only imagine what he has and all the things, all the discontinued, the rare fragrances, all the things that he would have. It would be a fragrance you couldn't even try everything in a day, even if you tried. So amazing. Says come on down. Yeah, I got to do some more meetups. I'm down in the South. There's some fantastic guys like the Fragrance Bros and some other guys out there. I got to try to do some more of that. Meet up with some of you good people. Says Dean. Oh, you donated $10. Oh, thank you, man. That's crazy. I really appreciate that. I wasn't asking for anything. I really do appreciate that. I think it's called a super chat. This is the world of YouTube. So thank you so much, my friend. That is crazy. I don't know if that's going to go to the AdSense I have to get to be able to even get anything out of monetization. And I'm not doing this to try to be Mr. Greedy Pants or or line my pockets. I'm going to put this all into fragrance. And trust me, reviewers like myself and everybody else there, Agnes, and any other reviewers here who are still here, they know how much money goes into this and how much passion you have to do this. So, but thank you so much, Dean. Let me see. You had a question there. Let me check it out. It says, loving Timbuktu. What trends would you predict are coming in the next year? What type of fragrances, new releases? Okay, so I'm not a wizard. I'm not. I'm not a seer, but I, th- of course, Tonka is really popular. I think that Tonka is going to continue. It gives the fragrance a full body. It smells sometimes like a roasted vanilla. My prediction is, of course, the sweet trend is going to continue, and aquatic fragrances and sweet aquatic fragrances are still going to be a thing, like Giorgio Armani's Absolute, Invictus. There's going to be some more of that kind of stuff going on, of course, but I think that powdery fragrances are going to come into the big forefront. I think that Baccarat Rouge 540, even though it's not really a powdery fragrance, it does have almost a little bit of that vibe. And I do think that because of the clone by Ariana Grande's Cloud, and how much hype and how popular that fragrance is, a lot of us in the fragrance community are not talking about that fragrance, not as much as how popular I think it is. So I think that powdery fragrances, maybe perhaps more ambergris, like cloudy fragrances, are going to become even more popular. Not the musky, not the salty ambergris, but more of that full-bodied, maybe even smoky kind of vibe. I think that that's going to be coming. I don't know if that's in a year or two. I'm not sure, but I think that's going to be coming down. Fragrance Journey says Sebastian's collection is insane. I could only imagine what Sebastian has. He has top 10 and top 20 videos of some of the best niche fragrances in the world. And just from looking at his videos and the collaborations and the friendships he has with some of these brands, I'm sure that he has to turn companies down, and I'm sure that he has to even get fragrances that he likes, but just give them away, or even send them back, because I'm sure he can't keep everything in his house. He could fill a whole warehouse of fragrances if he wanted to, I'm sure. So Steve says, let me see here. I think you'll see Redolescence coming out with his own brand soon. I can tell as he is doing more than just reviewing. I feel like that's almost a natural progression with anything. I mean, it's the same world of business. Once you get to a certain point, you have expertise and you have so much work ahead of you that you hire somebody to do that work for you, or that you want to expand into another avenue. I don't ever think a fragrance reviewer is going to hire somebody else to do reviews for them. Maybe if one of these people start their own brand, they might. Maybe Jeremy Fragrance might hire somebody to keep doing reviews on his channel. He's kind of in a limbo stage. I'm not criticizing him. I'm not hating on him whatsoever. I'm just saying that he is at a crossroads, and Mr. Smelly is going to be in the same place. And I think that some people have really talked about these things before. That it's really hard to be in the middle. Are you going to, review fragrances and be critical and possibly struggle with giving your own brand a little bit of favoritism, love on your brand? Or are you going to just go fully towards branding and marketing your own fragrance? And that gets into the ethics of, should you keep your YouTube channel anymore? So that is a big discussion. And Redolescence, I would like to see him create his own brand. I think that he would have a very gentlemanly fragrances, very reasonable fragrances, and I think we can trust him. I think that he would do everybody right. Redolescence, I think, has proven himself as a good guy. I do think that there's a trend of they perhaps say a little bit less so that they don't hurt any relationships or offend any brands. They do reviews that are a little bit quick and a little bit fast, but I can understand where they're coming from. I would like to know the longevity of the fragrance or the compliment factor, like I'd like to do, But these reviewers are doing their own thing, and they're having big success. So respect and kudos to them. I would love maybe one day to have my own brand as well. So that is something to think about, my friends. Says DJ says that's what makes it great, though, Ben. Fragcom is tight. Yes, and we're all stronger together. I'm definitely trying to encourage everybody to come together. And there have been some fantastic reviewers in the past who just slipped through the cracks. They felt like they weren't supported. Maybe they didn't want to outreach to any companies, or maybe they just felt like they had other things in their lives to do. Not everybody's going to stick around in the community forever, but if we have this community and they're really strong, they're still going to be a part of it. They might still be active on Facebook or Instagram. And there's so many good people out there. I really would love people to stay around. There's fantastic fragrance reviewers of the past, and some people that have just disappeared. And I want the fragrance not only to expand, but I don't want anybody to disappear. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So let me see here. Let me see. Limar says keep the hits coming. Yeah, I try to. I like to do individual reviews, but honestly, the top 10 list, they pull you in because they get so much more views. Let me know if y'all want more individual reviews. I love to do them here and there. But if I do a list and I do a quick overview of certain fragrances, I can kind of give y'all an overview and share y'all my quick thoughts. And people on YouTube seem to like the list. That seems to be the content that they want. YouTube, honestly, it's content for short attention spans. Not criticizing, but people want things quick and fast. That's how things are. That fast food is a thing for a reason, and people want to know about the compliments, the longevity, the beast mode. People want to know about that stuff. Of course, I like to keep it real with y'all, but let's talk. Let's see what else we got going on. Say Cali Reviews. Thank you so much for stopping by. He is another fantastic reviewer. If y'all don't know Cali Reviews, I have done a couple live streams on his channel. I'm going to see what we can do. I think we have something coming up Thursday, if that's still in the works. Another live. I would like to do them here. I think you can invite people, or even on Instagram. But he's a great guy. Check him out. He's still growing. I think Cali Reviews is a good guy. Let me know what questions y'all have. Let me know your scent of the days. I'm still working on these samples here. I have a couple more. I'm just having a good evening with y'all, chilling out, having some fun, talking about some fragrances. So, says, I like your tag, Ben, the 5 alternatives is going well. Yeah. And I really like that people really started working. I did some tags in the past, and trust me, I have some great other ideas. But I'm really thankful that one has caught on. It's my first tag that's ever caught on and growing in the fragrance community. So that one is just about alternatives, perhaps cheaper alternatives or fragrances that you think are perhaps one fragrance is better than another. And if you're a fragrance reviewer out there, like Cali Reviews, and you want to do that tag, I tag you right here. If that's something you want to do, I would love to see that. So, Misty, you subscribe to Cali Sense. Yes, that he's fantastic. And Steve says Dunhill Icon. That is a really nice fragrance. What are you saying about it, or what do you? Oh, that's your scent of the day, of course. I just had a mind freeze. That is a good fragrance, my friend. That is a nice vetiver fragrance. It's kind of classy, but it's understated. I think it has a little bit of a similar to Tom Ford Gray Vetiver, but a very good business scent, a scent for a gentleman. That is a good fragrance. Dunhill Icon. Honestly, it's not talked about a lot in the fragrance community that much anymore. Just like Terre de Hermes, it seems like the popularity in the fragrance community, at least, is slowed down a little bit. Terre de Hermes is as well is a really good designer fragrance. Callie's Fragrance says, "Let me know whenever you want me on your channel. That will be a good change of pace." Yeah, I would love to do more interviews. I have my Instagram. Again, you can check me out. It is Centaur underscore fragrance on Instagram, and I find giveaways there. I find all kinds of things to share, and I share more indie or niche fragrances there. And I really do. I like the platform. There's a bunch of other. There's a whole other fragrance world of fantastic people out there, and you got to check them out. Hugo Boss, the Scent Absolute. Um, I've heard that one is really good. I've tried the Private Accord. I have not tried the new Absolute. I'm guessing it's a really nice fragrance. Let me see. Somebody said, "Let me know guess what they're wearing or wearing last week." Cali reviews. I'm not sure, man. Did you get on the Encre Noir train? I don't know. Did you go for Aqua di Gio Profumo? That one's a really nice, versatile fragrance. Oh, Amouage Mistman. I love that fragrance, but I want to buy a full size bottle. I just don't have. I haven't saved up for it yet. That fragrance is beautiful. It's a beautiful smoky rose. It's a little bit dry. It's a little bit ashy. I think that it is one of the best masculine, or it's a rose that perhaps men would like to wear most. That and Declaration en Soir, especially the intense version, is the best roses perhaps for men out there. If you want a rose, men, ladies love it on you. Ladies are crazy about it. I don't think perhaps that's a trend. I think that could be a trend coming up too. Rose in a fragrance. So let me see here. What else do we got going on? Thoughts on the new Tom Ford Soleil? How do you say that? Nige? I haven't tried it. I think it's going to be a citrus. I'm sure it's a citrus. I'm not sure what notes are even in it. There've been a couple of new Tom Fords that I haven't tried. Generally, I think the Tom Ford private lines, their private collection of fragrances are quite nice. I do think that they do, especially with their newer releases, they're trying to be a little bit more mass appealing. But Tom Ford always manages to still have a little bit of a unique character. Their fragrances smell like Tom Ford's. They have good quality to them, but for the $300 or $350 for some of their private Accord fragrances, I personally would rather go for more of a lesser known brand. I think that you are paying for the Tom Ford name a little bit. Um, in the fragrance community, you might not think Tom Ford sounds special. My friend Fragrance Journey talked about branding or the truth of branding a little bit recently. And if you tell the average person something like Versace or you're wearing a Gucci fragrance, us in the fragrance community might just think that's just an average fragrance. But that sounds fancy, or it has a brand. It means something. And a lot of people would prize a fragrance like that in their collection because they're not going to go out for something. But Tom Ford, people, especially in New York, I think that's where Tom Ford came from with Tom Ford fragrances. Um, if you say that you're wearing a Tom Ford, people know that you're wearing something that's quality, something that demands respect, and it has a whole story behind it. So some people really know about Tom Ford. Callie, you say that you're pleased with it. Yes, I think that Miss Man is one of the best roses that men could perhaps pull off. Kazemi by House of Matriarch is another one. That one is all natural and very expensive. But Kazemi is another fantastic rose as well. If you're looking for a rose a man could perhaps pull it off, it's and or something unisex. So let me see here. Thank y'all so much for all the comments. I'm trying to keep up. It says just bought Bale Parfum. Not sure what that says. ALO2. Please let me know what you're saying there, Abraham. I'm not sure what that is. Declaration en Soir is on your buy list, Javier. Yes, it's fantastic. I do personally think that the intense version is a tiny bit darker and a tiny bit spicier. But both versions are very nice. But I do think that the intense version is fantastic, and you can find it on places like Fragrance Net for an unbelievable price for how good that fragrance is. Um, so, what's a good first rose? CK asks. Um, I think that that declaration on Soir, the intense version, is a good one to go to. Miss Man is a little bit challenging, and it's expensive. And Kazami is a bit is definitely expensive by House of Matriarch, but that one is a little bit more grain and a little bit more herbal. But I don't think that there's a lot of rose fragrances for men, or maybe that's a trend. And if I get to become a perfumer, I'm working on that. I definitely will be making one. I don't think that there's rose fragrances for men out there. Javier says the sandalwood is really nice with the rose. Yes, there is kind of a little bit of sandalwood in the declaration on Soir as it dries down. Eric says you used to live on the coast, in MS. Yes. So did you like it down here or not? I'm trying to personally move to Tennessee or Kentucky, and really like it up there. I really like the environment or the feeling, and who knows what will happen. I would love to perhaps travel a little bit around the world. I'm not the kind of person who wants to stick and live in the same hometown that they've always lived in. I am food wise. I've always been curious. That's why I'm into fragrances. I I want to try new things. I want to see new people, just travel and see what the world is. I think that there's so much out there. That's just me personally. Some people love to stay in the same country, in the same state, in the same region that they've always lived in, and nothing is wrong with that. But I am definitely a person. I don't know, Renaissance man. I try everything. Let's see. What about Lyric Man? Lyric Man is a nice kind of rose fragrance. I felt like it was a little bit hard to wear. I personally couldn't wear it, but they're. I'm trying to remember the name of the channel. He's the guy who always says, "Get an opinion of your own." I'm trying to remember the name of his channel. He's a good guy too, but he really likes Lyric Man. Um, the name's not coming to. I can picture his face. Um, Goodness, I haven't seen his content in a while. Does he still upload? Anyways, Lyric Man is a good fragrance. January scent Smolder Rose. I've heard that's a really nice fragrance. Rose All Day, I think by Gallagher. I've heard that's a really nice rose. A metallic rose, I've heard. It sounds really nice. Misty says, Ben, do you know anything about the new women's? Let me pull up the chat here again. The new women's Valentino perfume. No, I don't. Does it look good? I've always felt like Valentino fragrances are really nice. Um, that they have good quality behind them. They all do feel a little bit like a powdery amber. A lot of them in the dry down, maybe a little bit of an irisy vibe. At least the men's versions for me, they almost had like not a Gucci, it's not even coming to me. Is it Chanel Pour Homme? Is it Chanel? The one that's famous for the iris. No, it's Dior. Dior Homme, Dior Homme Parfum, Dior Homme Eau, the Dior Homme Intense. It kind of has a little bit of a similar feel. But I think that it would be really nice, a ladies' version, if they added a lot more rose. Eric says, I live in New Orleans now. Best decision of my life. I've visited there. Y'all have fantastic food. Y'all have a great culture. Um, I have only visited some of the most busiest places I've worked. I worked for a company moving like supplies and heavy equipment, and we used to go and deliver things to food companies down there. And it's very busy. I do like cities, but maybe I'm more of an urban person. I like being in the middle. I don't like big traffic jams. but I do like a little bit more of city life. I like culture. I like different foods. I like all kinds of things like curry. A lot of people down here don't even know what curry is, or they think you were crazy. It's like, you like curry? What are you talking about? Let's see. But New Orleans is great. Jay Royal, yes, that's the one. He's a fantastic guy. I haven't seen his content in a while, and I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. But he loves Lyric Man, and Lyric Man is a really good fragrance. Hit vibes, I'm sure, with his playful personality very well. He's a good guy, Jay Royal. I haven't seen his content in a while. I hope that he's still active. Um, I think that maybe he needs some support as well, but don't want him to slip away. Says, do you like Acqua di Parma fragrances? Eric asks. Yes, and no. I really do like Fico di Amalfi. I think it's amazingly beautiful green fragrance with fig that's not too fruity, and it's definitely is unisex. I think that their masculine version or fragrances, pour ohms. Um, I find that some of them almost have a synthetic vibe, and for the price, that's just not for me. I think I tried the Asenza. I thought it was pretty good, but I don't know. I think that they're decent, but some of them are really good. Some of them are amazing, but some of them just aren't for me. So that's just my opinion. I want to try some more of the ouds, um, and but some of them are really nice, classy, gent fragrances. So Acqua di Parma is a hit and a miss for me. I like really smooth fragrances. I don't really get as much smoothness, perhaps, as I would like out of some of them. Um, let's see. CK says I like Fico di Amalfi and Mandarino di Sicilia. How and asked Eric what he thought about those. I don't know if I've tried the Mandarin or Mandarino di Sicilia. I don't know if I've tried that one. I bet it's nice. They have really nice Italian, Mediterranean style fragrances, and some of them don't perform the best. But if you get them, you can find them at discounters for a really nice price. So let's see. Abraham says Bale Parfum. I don't know how to say that. Kanzwerk. Is that German? Um, oh, it is German. I believe it's also the fragrance store in Berlin. I have not tried that brand. I do not know anything about the brand, but of course, I'm always trying to explore new brands. I'm always trying to find new fragrances. There's a brand called Trumper, and I would love to try them. I hear their sandalwood is very nice. I'm sure they have some really good fragrances. Parfums de Nicolai has some really nice fragrances as well. If you want fragrances that are mass appealing but definitely have a little bit of character to them, and you're a gentleman out there, I know some more gentlemen watch my channel. New York Intense is definitely recommended. You got to check that one out. New York Intense for the gentlemen is highly recommended. Let me see. Eric says I also really like Fico. It's the only frag I've gotten an unsolicited compliment from. It's a fantastic one. It's really nice and playful, a little bit green, a very beautiful, nice fig. It's sparkly. Definitely check it out, especially in that little bit of heat. That fragrance would be beautiful, an amazing fragrance. Let me know what fragrance you've worn that's gotten you an unsolicited compliment. I've gotten a few here and there, but honestly, the compliment that the fragrance that got me the most unsolicited compliments are like wow fragrance that just got wow reactions was Nautica Voyage. Yes, Nautica Voyage. I personally just outgrew the fragrance. I think it's an amazing fragrance for a playful man, perhaps a young man. But Nautica Voyage gets the compliments. If you're looking for that, and if that's the only thing you're interested in, Nautica Voyage is not going to disappoint you. Um, let me see here. Mandarino di Sicilia is like a citrus almond vanilla, and it's different from everything from the Mediterranean line. Is it similar at all to Elborn by Garnar Barcelona? CK. I don't know if I've tried that one. I'd love to know. It says, Ben, you are walking and talking. Let me see here. Walking, talking Britannica of Scents. Thank you, Misty, for that big compliment. It humbles me. I love fragrances, and I've really pretty much at this point dedicated a lot of my life to fragrances. I spend almost all the free money I have on fragrance. I try to learn about fragrance all the time. I try to support all the other fragrance reviewers. Um, must be a squirrel over there. We got all kinds of critters. Um, but thank you for that compliment. I'm really humbled by that. Steve says Bentley Intense. It's really good cheapy. That one is really nice, for sure. Guys, if you want to get into patchouli for the first time, or if you want a classy fragrance, I used to talk about that fragrance a lot on my channel as a cheapie, and it is a really good one. If you want a resinous fragrance, patchouli, a classy masculine patchouli fragrance for on the budget. If you want something that has good performance, Bentley Intense is hard to beat, and that one got a lot of hype for a really good reason. So it deserves the hype. So Javier says I recently layered Guess 1981 Indigo with Banana Republic Neroli, Neroli Woods, and it was fantastic together. Honestly, both of those are on my buy list. I need to buy those. I love neroli, but it has to be done right. I don't like it when it's too soapy, and I don't like it when it has like a sharpness to neroli. And I would like it if it had a woody dry down. I think it sounds very clean and very nice. And the 1981 Indigo sounds like a really nice, kind of like a playful modern green aquatic. Um, with some fig. I think was it fig? No, it was coconut. The indigo had coconut. Um, I would love to try both of those. And Javier, I bet you were smelling fantastic. Abraham said, but it wasn't making any new purchases at the time. But I was looking for it for a decent price. Yes, and I do think that Parfums de Nicolai prices are their brand with their prices. It's not too bad. You're getting a pretty good fragrances. Most of them have pretty good performance, and they are, even though they do have their own character, they are a niche brand. Their fragrances do have a little bit of like they're not linear, but they're not as complex as some fragrances out there. It's not gonna. Their fragrances aren't crazy like Umaguma, or any of those fragrances out there that have crazy variety of notes and the fragrances leap out at you. They're very smooth, and I think the quality is really there. So, New York Intense. I hope that you try it out, and if you like it, let me know what you think about it. CK says it's way lighter than Elborn, not boozy, and there's no honey, but he thinks it's a it would be good for the spring, or what? Very good. I bet it would be really nice. I'd love to try it. Elborn is really nice. It is very good. I had to go for Palo Santo, which I'm going to talk more on my channel. Palo Santo by Carnar Barcelona is almost like a vanilla, but it's not very sweet. And it has tons of sandalwood and incense. And it spoke to me. It called my soul, my fragrance soul. And it spoke to me. And I bought that fragrance. And I love it. And I think I bought it pretty early. It was kind of early into it was released. And last year, I don't think anybody had talked about Palo Santo. This is Daniel T. Benjamin. What's up? Let me see here. It says, I like your reviews. Thank you, Daniel. I love your support. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. And you're my friend. And guys, it let me know a couple minutes ago that I have 15% power on my phone. So I might be getting near 5%, so I might have to go in a couple seconds. Okay, I'm at 13%. But let's keep this going. We have a little bit of time. Thank you so much, Daniel, for the compliment. Javier says, yeah, fig and coconut with neroli mixed really well together. Hey, you're giving me ideas for fragrances. Javier says, yeah. Greg says, piqued my interest, Javier, on both of those. They sound very good for cheapies. They sound like really nice fragrances. Those are really good, it sounds like. Danny Miller says, is it true women's scents smell different than men scents or smell fragrances different from men and women? Is there a difference? To me, it seems that women do have a better sense of smell. Like when I'm sure you've noticed when people go and do fragrance, like get ladies' opinions on the streets, they do smell the fragrances really close, but they always seem to want fragrances that are a little bit lighter. And that seems to be something that they always say. Ladies do seem to pick up fragrances, especially when they've dried down, if they've been on my skin for a long time. And I think that that just seems to be something that I've noticed too. So I do think ladies have a stronger sense of smell. Maybe that's why they dislike patchouli and tobacco, or they don't like patchouli and tobacco as much as men do, or oud perhaps. But I don't know. I would love for some scientist to do a scientific study on that. I would love to know more about it. CK says, looking forward to hearing about Palo Santo. Yes, I have more reviews coming. I didn't talk a lot about it last year. I have so many things to talk about, so many fragrance. I buy samples. Sometimes I do collaborations with brands. Always 100% honest, and I'm not paid by them. But I do have so many things to talk about. I have more reviews from Fragranza to talk about. I have to talk about this alt fragrance they sent to me. So let's see. Let me see. Greg says Facebook group name again. Okay, so I just made a Facebook group for all of us to be a part of, so we can all, so I can let y'all know when I do these live streams here or on Instagram, and just for us to be friends and have a big community. Everybody be involved with each other. It's called Scentitar Fragrance Family, and I made it a public group so everybody can find it. It's going to be easy to find. So just go on there and go to the group tab on Facebook and type in Scentitar Fragrance Family, and it should easily pull up. And if it doesn't, I think you can message me, or perhaps in the comment section of one of my videos, ask me, and I'll provide you a link. So let me see here. Hey, Valley, still going strong, I see. Yes, Solano, we're strong here at the Scentitar Fragrance channel. And I'm a fragrance head, I'm a fragrance addict, so you know that I keep it real, so. Valley Vaughn says, oh, yes, I can't stand patchouli. So, I had that suspicion, and my live stream I did on Instagram. I talked about fragrances from Clar Menthe Belle from France, and they have a very nice patchouli fragrance called Ippy Patchouli Claire, and I was curious. I asked that question and posed that question, and Valley Vaughn supports what I thought, that ladies don't like patchouli as much as men do, or probably tobacco. But I think ladies much prefer rose and vanilla, probably more than men do. So I'm very curious to learn those differences and get ladies' opinions on things. So Solano says, I'm creating a group called The One and Only. That would be nice, Solano. Solano is the one and only Solano. He loves saying that. He's a good guy too. So check out his channel if you haven't checked out Solano. I would love to see more of your content, man. He's a growing YouTuber. So Javier says, yeah. I'm not sure what you said there. You should try it. One to spray of each. Yeah, I would do that. Greg says, got it. Thanks. Valley Vaughn says, do men like sweet scents on women? Do you? I like sweet scents, but I don't like them to be cloying. I don't like when I get a syrupy vibe, personally. I do think that a lot of men even do like syrupy fragrances on ladies. Maybe the sweeter, the better. I think it's intoxicating and it's very nice. I think a lot of perhaps traditionally masculine men feel that way. I'm not saying that everybody should think that way or does think that way, I just think that that is perhaps a cultural thing. Um, One of the sweetest fragrances that I know of that I like Valley Vaughn is called Angel Muse by Mugler, and it is a gourmand scent with a lot of chocolate and a lot of like that fruity, playful, feminine vibe. And Angel Muse for women is beautiful and very sweet, but it does have a little bit of that Mugler, a little bit of that tar and that patchouli. And I love Angel Muse on a lady. Angel Muse, I mean, that's gonna smite men, in my opinion. CK, you do? Yeah, I think men really do like sweet fragrances on ladies. Let me see here. Solano says he likes anything. So Solano says if you show up and you're his girl, and if you just wear anything, that's what matters. So hey, I don't think a lot of guys are extremely picky, but we're just fragrance heads, so we're picky over here. But yeah, I think that the guy is perhaps not going to be as picky as perhaps maybe the lady might be a little bit more picky. Um, CK says my girl wears Ultramall. That fragrance has a beautiful pear and plum vibe. I think it is. Ladies could wear it. So fragrances out there that are unisex. Some guys like to wear your pineapple fragrances, maybe. Ladies might snag it, might want to wear it. So that's really funny. Alana says that sounds like a great collaboration video. Yeah, that's I got to get that going. Maybe a fragrant note that you dislike and you like from each gender. That would be nice. Solano always encouraging me to do my best and be a great guy. Thank you so much, Solano. So are y'all interested in these costume nationals? I have this one and two more, and I have very little power. I'm about to run out. But do y'all want me to run through these, or do y'all want to hear about these another day? I think I want to run through these. I got to do my own review on my channel, of course. So again, I'm talking about Costume National. They don't. A lot of people don't talk about their brand or don't know about their brand. I have 5% power, y'all. Especially if you dress to the nines, it's a wrap. Solano says, wear those high heels, show up in a red dress, and he's going to be impressed. That's awesome, Solano. I know what you're talking about. Let's see here. Valley Vaughn says yes, yeah. So let's talk about these. I have 5%. I'm just going to run through these. So I think that the Scent Intense by Costume National, it's a little bit more masculine. It has a little bit deeper. I think that it's better than the regular scent. So Scent Intense is a nice, classy fragrance for a man. It's a little bit subdued. I'm getting a little bit of Bottega Veneta vibes from these. So it's a very reserved, kind of quiet fragrance. It's masculine and it's nice, but I would only buy that if it was at a good discount. The next one here is Cyber Garden. Y'all probably haven't heard much about this fragrance. Nobody talks about it. It's a sparkly ambergris green fragrance. It is quite the different fragrance. Probably haven't tried anything like it, but it's not going to surprise you. It's not going to amaze you. If you're a gentleman, though, if you want something that's if you're really heavily into green fragrances, if you love green fragrances and you want something you can wear every day, all the time in the high heat, it's your signature scent. I think that it's a very good modern green fragrance. So thank you. JR Fragrance and Anthony Rodriguez, thank you so much for stopping by and your support. I hope that you're able to see this video after it's done. I have like 4% battery now, and I'm running out of, I just got to end this video real quick, but I do have this last Costume National sample here to share with y'all. This one is called So Nude, and I think this one is a ladies offering. I think I remember liking the Intense version. I think I might have given that to my mom, or they had a different version of this. It's a kind of a powdery, skin-like fragrance for ladies. It's going to become a second skin. It's very nice. But it's not the most unique. I don't think that this fragrance smells overtly natural. It's for the quality, for the price. I think that they were trying to go for like a natural, almost like a musk scent for ladies. It smells quite nice, but I don't know if it's worth the money. But it is a nice, inoffensive, close to the skin fragrance. When you just want a lady, if you're out there and you just want to smell very very natural, and but very good. I think Oil Fiction by Juliet Has a Gun is probably worth more of the money. And that fragrance is a fantastic